Biggest comments that I get on videos whenever we're talking about fertility is like, well, you shouldn't have focused on your career so much.
Being like an older parent, or like she would have been 36 when she had you, did she ever like talk about how like that was difficult or not?
Not really. I think like because I was the third, it probably didn't feel like that strange. But she was like quite career focused, and also was never someone who really wanted kids. It was only like as they'd been married for quite a long time, and I think my dad was like, I want kids, and she was like, yeah, sure. But she did say she was like, oh yeah, we had lots of tests with you. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, yeah, we had loads of tests just to make sure like you were going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I passed.
Yeah. So my mum had my youngest sister when she was 34, and this was like the 90s, and at that point she was already classed as a geriatric mum, and they were already a little bit worried. The only thing that kind of gave the hospital a bit more faith was that she'd already had 3 kids before.
Right.
So they weren't worried on that respect. But I was technically a geriatric mum, like age 37. And yeah,
they don't use that term anymore, thankfully.
They don't, but
so
they do just ask like your age, like every time you go in and like have your scan, because that's the mother's age is the first thing that kind of like determines any health issues around the baby when you're having your scans. But yeah, it was something that I was very conscious of throughout my pregnancy, that the chances of miscarriage are like a little bit higher, like things going wrong. And I was very, very aware that could happen. So yeah, it was a bit of a scary like pregnancy. I was trying to like just like stay calm, but then every time we'd go into a hospital, that would like send my mind, like I'd be like just going down a spiral of, oh well, this could happen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a real like relinquishing of control, because, and also you don't know anything until you turn up to the scan. It's like you've got nothing in your body that tells you, you know, if something's wrong, like from a kind of abnormality point of view. It's like there's nothing that in your body that would tell you that.
No,
so you're kind of blind faith.
Yeah, and like the idea of they say that if you have a geriatric pregnancy or an older pregnancy, the chances of things like Downs and like autism triple. And that was something that I was really aware of, and quite scared.
Yeah.
Although, like, you know, they say that you do anything for your baby, like even if they have like long-term illnesses, like mental health issues, but obviously no one wants that. So yeah,
it also puts you in such like a hypothetical, difficult place, because I was thinking about this. I was like, if I found out that a baby had something like that, I don't even know like what my thought would be. Like the idea of having to make a decision of like whether you want to continue the pregnancy is like a terrifying thought, which can happen at any age, you know, with any condition, but it definitely amplifies the older you get.
Yeah,
I think all this stuff, it's like it weirdly inside me, I almost feel guilty like having these conversations, because it makes you feel like you don't want to scare people, and you don't want to like make people feel bad for like the choices that they've made so far, or like if you just haven't met the right person or whatever. But there's also like, I think, just such a reality that we can't avoid as women, that like we have to have these conversations so that people can make really informed decisions whether they want kids or not. Having conversations about like declining fertility, like I feel like that's really stigmatized. Like even with friends, it's like you don't want to say that, because obviously you have lots of friends who'd like to have kids who might be a bit older, and it's like you feel like a bit of a dick even talking about it, but it's like a reality that we have to think about, that men don't have to in the same way.
Yeah, it's definitely a subject that people struggle to talk about with women and men, because men don't like to think about it because it makes them reflect on, oh, am I ready to be a dad? Does my partner have like fertility issues? And then women don't like to talk about it because it's a topic that they probably put in the back of their mind unless they're actually thinking about conceiving.
Yeah.
yeah, it's very awkward. But I feel like in recent years, people have been more open to talk about this topic. And there've been like so many like podcasts and blogs and YouTube channels that are all about like TTC, like trying to conceive.
Right.
So I feel like it is more in the open, but then I feel like within my personal like relationships with like friends and family, it's still a closed topic.
Right. Yeah. It feels like there's so much, I think it's like shrouded in judgment in many ways, because I think, yes, people talk about it more, maybe women, like online and in circles, but the massive trend, which I mean, I could do a whole podcast episode on this, but the massive thing that I see is people using it to like shame women for decisions they've made in their career. Like it's such a humongous thing having the podcast. One of the biggest messages, like the biggest comments that I get on videos whenever we're talking about fertility, dating, any of this stuff, is like, well, you shouldn't have focused on your career so much, or like, this is what you get for like wanting to be a girl boss. Like honestly, those comments like stream in.
So they're literally using it to blame women's
feminism.
choices.
Yeah, they're like, feminism is why you're having to have in quotation a baby really late in your life, because you've chosen to focus on this. And I think that's where like it's difficult even for women to talk about, because it's like it's just such a fucking stigmatized and like unfair conversation.
Yeah, that's a really difficult one, because all our lives we're told to pursue our dreams, pursue our career goals,
don't get pregnant,
and don't get pregnant, and make informed choices. So yeah, to hear that's really shocking. Blows my mind.
Yeah, honestly, spend a day on TikTok. It's the most.
This is why I'm not on TikTok.